Spider-Man just became a lot more important to the future of the MCU, because Marvel didn't simply introduce a new character in Brand New Day. They introduced Jean Grey. And if you're wondering why Jean Grey is suddenly appearing in a Spider-Man movie, trust me, there's a much bigger reason behind it. Spider-Man, Brand New Day has already become one of the biggest stories in Hollywood this summer. The movie has been breaking box office records and recently passed $1.6 billion worldwide. But honestly, the box office isn't even the most interesting part. It's what Marvel may have set up for the future. And that brings us to Sadie Sink. For months, Marvel kept Sadie Sink's character extremely secret. Fans had theories everywhere. Some thought she could be Wanda. Others thought she could be a completely new character. But the answer turned out to be much bigger. Sadie Sink is Jean Grey. And if you're a Marvel fan, you already know that name carries serious weight. Jean Grey isn't just another mutant. She's one of the most powerful and important characters connected to the X-Men. And now she's officially part of this new MCU chapter. This is where things get interesting. Why introduce Jean Grey in a Spider-Man movie? Because Peter Parker has always been one of Marvel's best characters for connecting different parts of the universe. He's street level. He's emotional. He's young. And he's one of the characters casual audiences already know. So if Marvel wants to slowly introduce mutants into the MCU, Spider-Man is actually a pretty smart place to do it. And that's what really surprised me. Marvel doesn't necessarily need to throw the entire X-Men team onto the screen immediately. They can introduce one character, then another, then slowly build the world. And Jean Grey could be one of those first major pieces. Now let's talk about Jean herself. In Marvel Comics, Jean Grey has an enormous history with the X-Men. She's connected to some of the biggest mutant stories ever created. And yes, that includes the Phoenix. But here's the important part. We shouldn't automatically assume Marvel is going to repeat the exact same Phoenix storyline from the old X-Men movies. Marvel has already shown that it likes changing comic book stories for the MCU. So Jean could have a completely different journey this time. And honestly, I think that's better, because we've already seen the old version. The MCU has a chance to make Jean Grey feel completely new. The Spider-Man connection. Now here's my theory. I think Spider-Man's connection to the X-Men could become much more important than people realize. Peter Parker is currently living in a world where almost everyone has forgotten who he is. He's basically starting over. And Brand New Day represents a new chapter for Peter. At the same time, Marvel is building toward a much bigger mutant storyline. So what happens if Peter becomes one of the first heroes to interact with these new mutants? Suddenly, Spider-Man isn't just fighting street-level villains anymore. He's standing right at the center of the MCU's next evolution. And that's a very interesting place for Peter Parker to be. Confirmed versus theory. Now let's separate fact from theory. Confirmed. Sadie Sink plays Jean Grey. She's now officially part of the MCU. And Marvel is moving toward its X-Men era. That's real. But here's the theory. We don't know exactly how important Jean will be to Spider-Man's future. We don't know if Peter Parker will become directly involved with the X-Men. And we definitely shouldn't assume every fan theory about the next Avengers or X-Men movie is confirmed. That's where Marvel speculation gets dangerous. But the setup is absolutely there. And honestly, I think this is one of the smartest things Marvel could have done. Instead of dumping an entire X-Men team into the MCU overnight, they're starting to build the pieces. Jean Grey could be one of the most important pieces. And Spider-Man could be the character connecting the audience to that new world. So the real question isn't, is Jean Grey in the MCU? We already know the answer. The real question is, how big is Marvel planning to make her? Because if Jean Grey, Spider-Man, and the future X-Men story are all connected, Marvel's next chapter could be much bigger than we expected. If you want more Marvel breakdowns, theories, and hidden details, subscribe to StoryFlix, because we're just getting started.